Hello, welcome to the Manic Pixie Dream Vlog. I'm your host, Caroline Georges, and welcome. So today I've been thinking a lot about what our responsibility is to our partners and in dating and relationships and stuff. And just because I've been thinking about, I've taken advantage of men a lot. I've definitely taken advantage of men. And I've been very open about that. And I claim I don't claim it's good. I don't claim it's right. I don't claim that what I'm doing is moral. And it's just, it is what it is. And but it's just, what is my responsibility in these situations? You know? And I was thinking about a friend I had. I met him when I was in school. He he was sort of connected in the film industry a little bit. Well, he had some success as a television writer. And he had sold a show and he had sold a screenplay, and so I just appreciated his friendship for that reason. I appreciated his influence in my life for that reason. And he was like this young kid, really nice, really obliging, and too obliging on his part for me. He gave me gifts, he gave me money, he gave me, it was just, if I needed anything, he would help me. He was just a very, 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 very good friend. And I accepted his friendship and what I got out of that friendship, and I accepted it. And at the time, I didn't think I was doing anything wrong, even if it made me feel a little uneasy, because I knew he liked me, I knew he wanted to date me, I knew he wanted to sleep with me, I knew these things I knew this about the dynamic, that he was, the reason why I was being given things by him was because he wanted something more. And every time the conversation, about that came up, like, look, I'm not interested in you, and I feel bad accepting these things, he was just always just dismissed it and just said it was fine. And that he just really liked my friendship and stuff. But then, lo and behold, it blew up in my face. It did. It completely blew up in my face. He just confronted me, told me I was a bad friend, told me, he threw everything that he's done for me in my face. And, and I felt really guilty and I felt really bad because deep down I knew that I was kind of taking advantage of someone's kindness under the pretense of something I wasn't willing to give back. And, but it's just like, was I doing something wrong in accepting these things? Was I doing something wrong? And, and so I think about situations where, I feel women have been mistreated or women were, I don't know, there's like this thing where men can be, you see it even in 90s television shows where men are just acting really predatory towards women, and it's comedy and it's funny. And it's just socially acceptable. You see it in Friends, you see it in The Big Bang Theory, you see it in The Office, you see it in all these comedies, men being kind of predatory to get the girl, and to get what they want from the woman in question. They can be kind of act in ways that are sort of predatory. And so in the reversal, you see movies like Heartbreakers, and you see movies like, television shows. I'm sorry. I should probably have better examples than just, Heartbreakers, which was great, by the way. It's one of my favorites. But where women sort of take advantage of men, with resources, and there's sort of that reversal, and it's just like, who's doing something wrong? The fact is, we have to see. I think entertainment trusts the audience enough to know when something's a joke and when something's not meant to be taken seriously, and it trusts the audience to know right and wrong, and that's fine, and that's how things should be. People should be adults, and people should have a basic sense of right and wrong, so that way when comedy is presented to us or when fantasy is presented to us, we can still accept the fantasy but know right and wrong and know reality, and so what is my responsibility to men? Am I responsible? Like, if I'm accepting dinner in a movie, am I responsible to, am I meant to accept these things under the pretense that I'm going to sleep with my partner, or I have intentions of things going further with my partner, even if that's not what I want to have happen? Should I not be there? Am I wrong being there in the first place? Even though my intentions are not to give back what somebody wants from me, you know? I mean, the answer to you might be very clear, but to me it's really not. Am I doing something wrong? And, you know, and I just, yes, but men are doing things that are wrong, you know? And I just, and I always just sort of justified what I do because it's a reflection of what men are doing. But in the ways women can hurt men, the ways women hurt men are different than the ways men hurt women, you know? And I think the ways men hurt women are far more severe than the ways women hurt men, you know? But it's just, and far more common than when women hurt men. And so, I don't know, like when I responded to that podcast and I vented on a man, which was wrong. And by the way, I was kind of depressed for a few days. I felt really low. I felt really bad. Once the money I got out of that man ran out, and the high of what I gained from doing that ran out, I felt really empty and felt really sad and felt really I was back to where I started. I was just right back to where I started. I was still angry. I was still upset. I was still frustrated, and I didn't feel better. And, you know, I wonder, like, when men abuse women, do they feel that? You know, like when I was kicked out of bed, did that man later on, did he feel that? Did he feel, you know, sad about that, depressed about that, wrong about that? Did he know where it was coming from if he felt that way? Did he know it was coming from hurting someone and that's why he felt bad, you know? And when I feel bad, do I connect it? I mean, do I know it's connected to when I hurt someone? That it's just, am I creating my own karma? You know, are people, I mean, and how is karma being created in my abusers? You know, that's something I'm thinking about right now. Because honestly, it doesn't seem like karma ever hit them. It just seems like some people just aren't on the, you know, aren't on the naughty list, you know? And it's just, and why are they not there? Why am I on the naughty list? You know, why am I being fed back my own karma when I just feel like my abusers aren't? And it's just, I don't know, just something I'm thinking about. And I don't know. I just don't know. It's all very confusing. It's all very unclear. But I need to stop hurting men. I need to stop. I think if I can go to work and start coming to work with a positive attitude and with an attitude of gratitude towards the men that I'm working with, I think that I could make just as much money. And I think that I could have a better experience being at work, appreciating the men that come in there instead of hating them. Because the thing is that they're not all bad. A lot of the men that come in there are coming in there with very real needs that aren't being met in the outside world. And they're not coming to the right place to get those needs met, but still they are coming to my place of work to get those needs met. And if I can be helpful, and if I can be kind, and if I can do something to make these men feel better, then that's what I should do. And you know, sometimes one thing I've noticed about where I work is that men who've just moved to LA, men who are, you know, recent implants, you know, men that have just started school at one of the colleges, or men that have just started a new job in LA, or sometimes men move down here to be with a girlfriend or something like that, and then it doesn't work out, and then they're stuck here. You know, that's happened a number of times. I've just noticed this trend. Men who have recently just moved out of state to California, into the area where I work, and then they come to my club for those reasons. It's like, you know, they're coming to somebody to feel comforted by and to feel welcomed by, you know, where they feel like the city doesn't, you know, and I know how that feels. I know how that feels to not feel like you belong, you know, and to feel lonely and just to feel like you don't have anybody, you know, and to feel lost that way. And I can relate to those men really well. And I always, when men that come in with that particular issue, you know, I do tend to feel empathy for them, you know, and I can make money from them by providing a service of being comforted and being, you know, welcomed by a woman, you know, and by, you know, and men are such providers, you know, that's what I will say about men. That's something I should appreciate about men, is that men love to provide. Men love giving women money. I will say that. Men love giving me money. And, and it's just in that, the fact that that does something for them, that giving and providing does something for men. I mean, that's a wonderful, beautiful thing about men, isn't that? That men love being providers, men love paying for dinner, love men paying for the movie. The fact that that's who men are and a part of what men are, and that, and that's not something that's forced on them by society. They really do love it, I can tell. And, and so it's just, there are things women can provide that men can't to themselves, you know what I mean, that men need. And, and sometimes, like, there's, like, this whole trend in feminism where it's, like, women, instead of holding men to a higher standard, they want to hold women to a lower one. And it's like, women should love that we are a home and that we are, a source of life for men, Women should love that about themselves, and I just, and so sometimes when women, talk about how they've treated men like shit and that sort of thing, and I mean how I've talked about treating men like shit and how that can be so empowering and make you feel so good, it really doesn't. It does not. And it doesn't make you more empowered. It doesn't make you feel better. It doesn't make you more of a woman. It just makes you feel like shit. And, and men, when men do things that are bad and that are hurtful towards women, I mean, that makes them feel like shit too. It does. That hits them. It does. The guilt always finds you in some way or another. But yeah, like, what is our responsibility towards each other? Are we responsible? Are we required to have honor? And what does society do for people who have no honor when the way that they date and then the way that they treat their partner? What does society do to those people who have no honor? And, and as I'm coming forward, and moving forward and trying to have more honor in how I'm treating men and how I'm relating to men and try and be more honorable in my life, one way is by being abstinent, and one way is by not dating. One way is by not being anyone's problem, and that's one way I'm honoring men, by just removing myself from the market. And but what are men's responsibility? And are other men going to hold other men accountable when men have no honor in how they're treating women? Is that something society can trust men to do, to hold each other accountable when another man has no honor in how he treats a woman? And I just, I would love for there to be conversations and confrontations and for everyone to be held accountable in how they're relating to their partners. That's what I want to see. And I need to set that example and to act with honor. And there's a girl at work who, she is somebody I really respect. She's in school. She comes from a poor family, and she strips to pay her way through business school. And she is very smart, and she's going to be very successful, and she works really hard. And her attitude towards her clients and just, her ability to just, enjoy the company of the men that she works with, I really respect that, and I really admire that, and I really need to be more like that, just trying to get the positive and seeing the good in the men I'm working with instead of seeing the bad, and knowing that I can relate to them. I can totally relate to them. And so that's what I have to say about this. Anyways, have a lovely day. Like and subscribe, share. If you like my videos, leave a comment. Let me know. It always really helps. Okay, well, have a nice day. Bye.